Welcome to the Patrick Show. My name is Patrick. I went through a rebrand. I know, not really a rebrand, but a refocusing on art and music and stuff that kind of really matters because art and music really do matter. Music can save the world. Music has saved the world. Music can change lives. Music has changed lives. It does. But over the years, music has kind of been devalued. Today, I want to talk about AI and how eventually every artist will use AI and love it. They will. We love using AI in our music production, in our art production. We love it. And I'm going to tell you why later in this video. But first, I want to talk about the devaluation of music. I was living in Nashville around the time of Napster. And just like everybody else, I was downloading music. I loved it. I was able to get albums from the 80s that I had lost, rare tracks, bootleg tracks from Prince. I loved it. One day I was at a pool party. I went to a lot of pool parties back in the day. So I was at this pool party and I was talking to a girl and we were listening to some mix that I had made. And she said, "Where did you get these songs?" I'm like, "Napster." And she said, "Oh God, Napster is horrible." And I said, "Is it really? It's free music." And she said, "No, it's not. Like, I work for a music publisher." She said, "This is going to kill songwriting, songwriters, and music." And I had never thought of that. I never thought that the money that I spent on CDs and tapes actually went anywhere. I didn't know how albums were made. I didn't know that you had to rent a studio. I don't know. I was young and gay and doing lots of drugs. I didn't know, and going to lots of pool parties. So I just never thought that there was money behind this at all. I didn't. But after she told me that, I started to think, like, yeah, this isn't right. This isn't right. But I want to be able to buy these things. How do I buy them? And when Apple Music came about, I would buy things on iTunes. I loved it. It was iTunes then. Thank you. It was iTunes. I loved paying for music. I love paying for art. Today, I still love paying for art. Some people will tell me to just get unlocked Fire Stick so I could have access to all these streaming services. I'm like, I don't want access to all those streaming service. I want really good content and I'm willing to pay for really good stuff. I believe in supporting artists. I believe in it wholeheartedly, not just because I am one, but if art is not supported, eventually artists will stop making art. Musicians will stop making music. They will, because it's not profitable. Some of my favorite artists have stopped making music because they don't make money from it. And so I feel like AI is going to change this for artists who have a vision. Our latest album, Mask, is it would have cost millions of dollars to produce. And if you take in the art direction and the music videos, millions of dollars. An album like Mask would not exist without AI. It would cost way too much money. The subject matter is considered fringe, so it would never get heard. And some of those songs on that album have not only changed my life, but they have helped heal other men, gay men, even a couple of women. I hear from people who have heard the songs on that album and they're like, "Thank you for this. Thank you for this." But we didn't have $1 million. We didn't have $5. We had no budget to make this album at all, but we did have creativity and we had a vision. So let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. I met a musician at a recovery meeting, and he was kind of down and out, and he needed a song. He had gotten a project that he needed to contribute a song to. And he said, "Do you have a DAW? Do you have a studio?" I go, "Yeah, it's not great. It's not a great studio. It's not soundproof, but it's functional. I mean, it'll get shit done. It'll get it out." And he said, "Okay, well, can I come over on Saturday and do this song?" And I'm like, "Sure." Now, over the years, I've become a pretty good producer. I love producing music. I've been producing music since the late 90s on my own with other songwriters. I lived in Nashville. It was a music town. I used to know people who had written hit songs and they would be at the bars with me. I was drinking my cares away and they were drinking to write their next hit. And being around people like that, it'll just free you up. Like anything is possible. Anything is possible. I went over to some guy's mansion once and he said, yeah, this song bought this. I bought this song by writing a song that took me 5 minutes to write. I'm like, you know what? I like those odds. I like those odds. 5 minutes. Buy a house. Something that takes 5 minutes can buy you a house. Hey, it happens to people all the time. Most of Lady Gaga's songs she wrote in 5 minutes or less. We write songs in 5 minutes or less. Because if it takes longer than 5 minutes, you start to over intellectualize it. You start to overthink it. Well, anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. So this musician came over. He wanted to do a version of a public domain song, and it was going to go to this short film. And I'm like, man, that's here we have the film. And so we have to do a song, a public domain song, a new version of it that fits the tone of this film, and we have to have it done today. It has to be done today because he was going to fly out next week and he wouldn't be able to meet. So we had to get this song done. So my husband and we opened up the DAW, hooked up the MIDI keyboard, and they started typing the sheet music. They started playing it into the DAW. And I don't know if you've ever done it like that. That's time consuming. That takes time because if you're not like a perfect music production takes time. It takes time. Not only that, you have to master it. You have to listen to it hundreds of times, sometimes 1,000 times before it gets right. So after they were messing with this for like an hour, I came into the studio and I said, okay, can I suggest something? And what I suggested was, let's find a recording of this and see if we can't play it. Let's find a recording of it. And can you just play it into the MIDI? And we'll use that for something. And I said, I think we're going to have to use AI to do this. I think we're going to have to use Suno because we don't have time. We simply do not have time. It has to be done at 4:00 and it was already 1 o'clock. And so we were running out of time. So he was resistant to using AI at first. He was like, I don't want to be associated with AI. And I'm like, okay, well, eventually everyone is going to be using AI. And I'll show you why everyone is going to be using AI. Now, does this mean that people are going to stop making music in a traditional way? Of course not. No, I love making music in the traditional way. But for a polished, finished product, I'm going to use AI to help with mastering, background vocals, sometimes maybe even lead vocals. On our last album, we used different male voices because my voice is not all that masculine and I wanted a certain attitude. So I could have hired a singer that I didn't have money for and get that attitude. We're like Basement Jacks. We're like Gunshot. We're making music and hiring session musicians that just happen to be AI. And once you make that connection, once you see that, using AI is like going in a time machine. You're going into a time machine where you have hired dozens of musicians, dozens of artists, and you're getting to that finished product, that almost finished product. But you also have to have an ear for it. You also have to know a little bit about music theory, and you also have to know what songs work with AI and what songs don't. Anyway, so my husband and him, they got a version of the public domain song into MIDI. We exported it, and there was the song. It was very basic, and the musician was like, "What are we gonna do with this? What are we gonna do with it?" He was kind of like nervous. He's like, "My song is not gonna be done," and I'm like, "It's gonna be done. It's gonna be done. I guarantee you, your song is gonna be done." Now, this song was not going to be paid very well. He wasn't going to make very much money on it. I wasn't making any money on it. I was doing it as a favor to somebody who was in recovery like me. I was doing it being of service. So there was no money going to be made. No one was going to buy it. No one was going to pay for it. It was going to be on a short film that probably very few people were going to see. But his ego, it was like, I don't want to be associated. It's like, why would you not want to be associated with this? This is cutting edge technology. This is the future of music and music production. Why would you not want to be on the cutting edge of something? This is the only time in history when artists are like, no, I don't want my job to be easier or quicker. I do not want to deliver things. Even though music doesn't make money anymore, I want to invest lots of money in making music. It's insanity. It's insanity. So if music is not going to make money, why invest all the money into it? If you're a big selling act, sure. But if you're a small act, it takes a lot of money to get started. And most of us don't ever make it. Most of us don't get our songs heard. So the fact that we get our songs heard is a miracle. The fact that we've made one penny on any of our music is a miracle. There are many musicians and artists out there that don't make one red cent. Their songs don't even get heard. So I think we're doing just fine. And thank you for supporting this work that we do. The music and the art, everything. We're kind of like Disney. All of our stuff supports other stuff. So thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we uploaded the track to Suno. And I said, so what do we want this to sound like? What do we want it to be? Do we want it to sound industrial? Do we want it to sound this? So we played around with some styles and genres and experimented with the prompt. It's not a push a button, get song, push button, get song. You have to know how to finesse it to get what you want. You're just going to have to work a little bit, honey. So once we got the prompt right and we got the song, it was a different arrangement than what we had originally thought of. And actually it gave us some ideas about the song, since it was a public domain song that was very hard to sing and the lyrics were impenetrable. I'm not going to tell you the song, but as we were working on the song, I'm like, oh God. And so I knew that he was going to have to rehearse the new arrangement because the new arrangement was so different than the original song. And so I'm like, oh gosh, okay. So we didn't even get to the vocal recording part yet because once we liked this new arrangement, I said, okay, so we like this new arrangement. Let's put the lyrics in Suno and get a guide track. And then we will take the vocals out and then you will sing over it. So that's what we did. The whole time, this musician who had resisted using AI, resisted it. Like, I'm not doing it. There, something started to click for him. Like he was like, oh my gosh, we're going to get this done today. And it's going to sound good. Like he came into the studio thinking that, oh, they're like they use AI in their music and I know more than them. And he had such an ego about him in this regard. And see, we've made music the traditional way. We've made albums the traditional way. And we decided to see what this technology could do. I mean, we're artists. We're going to try new things, right? I mean, do you know that Andy Warhol would have used AI today to make art? Like, come on, get the fuck over yourself. I mean, because in the end, only the art matters. I don't know any artist or true artist right now that's not completely excited about using AI to realize their artistic visions. I don't know of any artist that's going, I'm not going to use that because it's beneath me. And anytime I meet somebody like that, we have a conversation. They're like, you're right. You're right. It's like using a plugin on a DAW. It's like using computer animation. Like I'm 53 years old. I've been here for all of this shit. Anytime a new artistic technology comes out, you have the hand wringing. The early adopters of it get called crazy. They get called names. They get called cheaters. But eventually, everybody uses it. Everybody uses it. There's not been one time that there hadn't been some belly aching about a new technology that makes doing things easier that there hadn't been some belly aching about. But see, the money thing is really gonna get people. The speed and the ease of use is really gonna get people. It doesn't mean that musicians are gonna be out of the job. It's just gonna be another tool. I mean, I'm probably more interested in music today because I know that when I write a song, if I can't get the sound that I want from that song, you used to, I would just have to throw it away. I mean, we have lots of songs that we knew were beyond the scope of our budget to be able to produce. And some of those songs I feel deserve to be heard. I want to hear some of those songs. And so we got the track going, we got the guide track, and he said I don't need to rehearse. I'm like, "Are you sure about that? Like, are you sure?" So, we did have to kind of finesse his ego a little bit, but he did get pretty humbled because when we put the track in the DAW, we removed the guide track. He realized this is a different arrangement. I'm going to have to rehearse this. So I gave him an hour to rehearse it. And you have to rehearse the song before you sing it. So essentially, we had the demo, we had the guide track. I printed out the lyrics for him and I sent him in the living room with my husband, and they rehearsed it and they rehearsed the track. And then after an hour of rehearsal, he came into the studio. We recorded the vocals. They're not great. We were on a time crunch, but at least I'll finesse the vocals as much as I can. But at the end of the day, we had a song to deliver for a project that paid very little money. I don't know if it even pays money. I think it's just these are favors for people. But once he saw AI, how it works, only then did he want to listen to any of our music. And at the end of the session, he's like, "So how does all this work?" And I showed him. I showed him the demos that we make. I took him through one song. I said, "Here's the song that we wrote. Here's the demo that we recorded. And here's the AI polishing and finished product." And he's like, "Oh. And it's like going in a time machine. It is like going in a time machine because I could write a song in the morning. I've done this. I can write a song in the morning, have a demo by 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and then have a finished song by the evening. Our new album would have taken a year to make. It took us 30 days. And in that 30 days, we were able to keep the concept fresh. We were able to keep the concept of masculinity and men who love men alive. And we didn't get sick of hearing the song. Because, see, when you're an artist like us, you have to do it all. There's nobody that's going to do it for you. But if you have a vision and you have the creativity and you have the drive to get it done, you can do it. But see, the thing about our music is it has a message to it as well. And we believe that pop songs are a great way to deliver a message. It's one of the reasons why I stopped spiritual teaching, because I thought I was helping people. And then I saw a video. It was a 2-hour video of how to reach a certain frequency. And I said, you know what? I bet I could write a pop song to actually take a person there. Less talk, more dancing. Less overthinking and more doing. Because when I would work on a song, I would get obsessed with it. And after a while, you stop hearing the song. You just start listening for the frequencies and you listen for what's wrong. And I'm not a professional audio engineer. I rely on AI tools to help me with stuff like that. I love making music videos. I love the whole process. I love concept albums. I love albums that have a specific theme and carry it through to the very end. And songs, albums like Love Sexy by Prince, The Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. Those are two of my favorite concept albums. You might have a favorite concept album of your own. But to be able to use AI to create a consistent thing across the whole 17-track album. Yeah, 17, it's a double fucking album that no label would ever pay for. Nobody would have ever invested in this album. That has changed my life. I'm a much better man because of that album, making that album. Even if it made no money whatsoever, it would still have done its job. And I am more awakened now. I am more of a man now because of that music. Don't you see? So eventually every artist is going to use AI. They're going to hit a time crunch. They're going to get a delay. They're going to need to do something. And then there will be AI saying, I can do this easier, faster, for less money, and probably better than a human being can. So in this respect, artists might shift away from the mediocre or the minutia or the details and come up with expansive visions like we did for our album Mask. And Mask was about masculinity, growing up, being a man, men who love other men, overcoming shame, learning how to be in your body and your own skin. And this is the vision. I don't have $2 million to bring this vision to life, but I do have a Suno Pro subscription, and I do have some creativity, and I do have some skills that when making those music videos, it's like asking a director to go shoot some footage for you, and then here's the footage. But the video that we're going to see today, Vicious Cycle, from our album Mask, the lyrics were written by a friend of ours, and we asked him to sign up for ASCAP so he could give us credit, because you guys are probably never going to make anything of yourselves, so just go ahead and have the song. And I'm like, are you sure? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't do this if I didn't want to make it really good. I don't really do this unless I think it's going to be something or get heard by people. And our music has gotten heard by a lot of people. It's kind of strange. It's kind of weird, but it also means that we must be doing something right. And I'm going to keep doing it. But so in the video that we're going to see today, Vicious Cycle, it's about drug addiction. And I wanted zombies in it, but I also wanted hot young men in it too, because I may have mentioned that I'm a gay. And I like men. I love men. I love men. I love men. I'm not going to apologize for loving men. I mean, I got a penis pennant. Come on. Somebody tried to make fun of this the other day, and I'm like, who make fun of a penis? Don't. Treasure it. Treasure it. What makes you a man? It's what makes you a man. I just spilled some coffee on my dick. So in this video, it was like I asked a cameraman to go shoot some footage of men in coffins and zombies. And I edited that video together. And it took me a couple days. Now, to shoot this video would have taken probably a month and a half. And to hire the actors and all the special effects, millions and millions of dollars. So you see, at some point, an artist is going to say, I want to make something, but I don't have the budget for it. I don't have the funding for it. And they're going to do it this way, because that's exactly what I did. And I'm not special and I'm not unique. And I know that every artist is eventually going to use AI. All right, so let's watch the video. Thank you for joining me. Please have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Cycle round and round, turning, spinning, tighter wound. Something soon will have to give, close to nothing for to live. Try and stop the ears that ring, burning lungs and eyes that sting, crawling, itching, pulling thoughts, anchored in tighter knots. Stalking you at every turn, all consuming, one justifies the easy choice. Quick to act and short to think, one-track mind, it's off I slink. Sometimes I think it would be easier to let go. Some days I feel weaker, there's so much more to know. My salvation seems impossible and so far away. Can I be whole again someday? To come that one big hit, pain erased, can't feel a bit. Just one more is what you'll say, frazzled nerves and tooth decay. Days and weeks and months go by, friends and money short supply. 'Cause it's the vicious cycle, round and round, turning, spinning, tighter wound. Something soon we'll have to give, close to nothing for to